Welcome again to the Depot Sports Chat. I'm Drew Rubenstein here with Todd Murray on Christmas week, Todd, and the WVU Women's basketball team gets a few days off after Saturday's win at Duquesne. But I guess to start off with here, WVU's 10-1, won their last 10 games. Why is this team still not in the top 25?
Well, I think people are still waiting for them to beat a team of note. Some of the teams that they beat earlier in the year, I think Mike Carey thought were going to be a little bit better than they have proven to be so far. Obviously, they lost the opener against Ohio State before winning 10 in a row, and the Buckeyes are still finding their way under a first-year head coach. Virginia has not been the team maybe Mike thought that they were going to be at this point, and Washington State as well. Some of those teams they beat earlier, I mean, had they been having a little bit better season by now, they probably would have gotten a little bit more respect from the voters in the top 25. But they're going to find out real soon. The first weekend of January, they're going to be in Stillwater, Oklahoma, against an Oklahoma State team that is approaching the top 10 in every national poll, and they find a way to win there like they did last year, then they will be in that top 25.
And obviously it matters most come March where they are. But do you get a sense at this point that Mike Carey and the players, do they care that they're still on the outside looking into the top 25? Do they care that they're maybe not getting the respect that maybe some locals think they should be?
I don't think at this point, if this were late February, there'd be a lot of concern right now. But I think right now they're just concentrating on getting better and piling up the wins and getting off to a good start in this Big 12.
The one thing about Saturday's game against Duquesne that kind of stood out was WVU's ability to come to win a close game. They hadn't even played a close game for quite a while. What did you take away from Saturday's game? Who stepped up in those crucial moments, and is this a good sign moving forward for them?
Well, the fact that it became a close game was not something Mike Carey appreciated. They were up by 26 with a little under 12 minutes to play, and then the roof kind of caved in on them a little bit. I was having flashbacks to the Oklahoma game in the Big 12 tournament when they were up by 20-some at the half and ended up losing that game, their first ever Big 12 tournament game. But this year's team a little bit more poised. They also have Asia Bussey inside. They were able to overcome some poor rebounding. The Dukes really hurt them on the offensive end, getting second chance points and so forth. But when it came down to it, they made some big plays. They hit their free throws at the end, and after losing 2 years in a row to Duquesne, it was just, I think, a relief just to get out of there with a win. And
you kind of hit on the very end there, but do you get a sense WVU's upperclassmen, seniors, they have a lot of them, are poised and calm in those types of situations? They've certainly been in a lot of them over the years, but do you sense a difference in how this team handles that type of adversity versus how it did in previous seasons?
Yeah, I think with people like Bussey, Taylor Palmer, I could see Taylor in some of the huddles talking to the players right alongside Carey. She's been through this and can help some of the younger players like Bria Holmes, for example, in some of these difficult situations.
And we talked about Bria last week, and for WVU to succeed, though, how crucial is it going to be for players like Avery Fields and Linda Stepney to do things like they did on Saturday?
Right. Those two in particular tend to be players that aren't always respected by the opposing defenses. If they're going to play off people, sometimes it's those two. Avery is a lot of times is left alone right around the top of the key for jumpers, and when she can hit that shot like she was doing at times against Duquesne, and Mike Carey admitted this after the game, they're going to be pretty good. She scored 15 points, which was a season high, and it was even despite missing a lot of that game with foul trouble. I mean, without her, they may not win that game.
Mm-hmm. And last one, they get another break. Had a week off last week before Saturday's game at Duquesne. They get another week off before they play Elon at home, and then they get into Big 12 play. Does Mike like this long break before getting into Big 12 play, or does he wish they were maybe getting into a little bit more of a rhythm here?
I think he knows they've got some things to work with on particularly the rebounding that he's harped on in recent games, and ball movement on offense. I don't think he's unhappy, to have some practice time here, because they all know that Big 12 play is coming up, and that's where the season really begins.
All right, very good. Appreciate your time once
Thank
again,
you.
Todd. Please continue to check thedpost.com for the latest on the Mountaineers. Thanks for watching again.